I hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Now, it's drawing towards the end of May now in the UK, and it's the bank holiday Monday. I think it's the 27th, 8th, something like that. The weather hasn't given too good for today, so if you know whether to come, it's giving out constant showers all day, so there's a good chance of showers. So I've got all my wet weather gear on because I'm bound to get caught in a shower. In fact, it was just spitting and spotting a bit just down the road. But I thought we'd have a little tickle out, and we're going to have a ride up to Matlock Bath, which for lots of you will know that Matlock Bath is a local biker hotspot, if you like, and particularly if it's a bank holiday and the weather's good, there's no end of bikes get up there. So I just thought we'd have a little ride up there. I don't know whether I'll stop or not yet, but I'll show you around, give you a quick look at it, and while we're going up there, we'll discuss a few topics that have been raised recently, and just as my mate used to say, chew the fat a little bit. So come with me, and let's see what we get up to. First of all, can I just say a heartfelt thank you to everybody who has supported me on my little fledgling channel. It's wonderful to get your comments and your thoughts and your pictures of your bikes. We've just finished by now you should have already seen the results of the May photo competition, but we're going to start it again. So I'll put a few pictures on at the end of this vid as well. So that's the format nowadays. I'll do a little bit of a tickle round and a bit of a chat about whatever comes to mind, and we'll have a few photos on the back end, and then at the end of the month we'll have a photo competition where I'm hoping to be able to send you something out. I've certainly got something sorted out for May, and I've probably got something sorted out for June as well. So there's not a massive prize involved, but it is a little token gesture to say thank you. Now, what I wanted to have a word about, and this is always uncomfortable for YouTubers really, as I'm finding out. As my channel grows, it's wonderful to have you on board, but can I ask, is it possible, if you do like this sort of content, not just for me, but for the others who are doing it as well, if you're tuning in regularly and looking at it and thinking, and it gives you a smile, or it gives you food for thought, or you think, well, I'm going to leave a comment, it'd be wonderful if you could just hit the subscribe button for me. As I say, not just me, but all the other YouTubers, all the other, motorcycle vlogging community. It really does help us out, really helps the channel out, and unfortunately, lots of people, they don't mean not to subscribe, they just forget to do it. They watch and they jump from channel to channel, and I've been guilty of that myself. So if you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. It really would help immensely. What it does is it pushes your channel up a bit, gets it more noticed, more people like and subscribe, and it just helps to grow it and makes you think what you're doing is worthwhile. It's about growing it and engaging with as many people as you can to get a sort of community together where we can all bounce off one another. And I mean, I've said before, you can use this as a forum. Send me an email, shottostravels@gmail.com, and I'll have a little tickle round and we'll discuss it. So that'd be great if you can subscribe for me. Don't forget, subscribing doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you a bean. And if you could hit the notification bell as well, that'd be great too, because that will alert you when new content goes on that you might be interested in. And the other thing, just to say, I've noticed one or two other YouTubers have said, if you are subscribed, can you just check that your subscription is still valid? Because for some reason people are getting deleted. They say, oh, I have subscribed, and then when they check, they're not there anymore. Whether that's a YouTube thing or a technical glitch, I don't know. That's beyond my pay grade. But so if you are subscribed, if you could just check if you're still subscribed, and if you aren't, then subscribe for me. Do me a big favour and just hit that button. That's brilliant. Right, now then. A couple of days ago, and has anybody else had this? Is it just me? I mean, maybe my eyesight's going, maybe I'm going stupid in my old age, and there's every possibility of that, because what I'm about to say doesn't add up, doesn't make sense. I can't work it out. But, right, I did my chain the other day, so I lubricated my chain, I adjusted my chain, okay? I you know how there's numbers on the spindle on the back, on the chain adjusters on each side, on the swing arm? They were absolutely spot on both sides. Absolutely bob on. I can't remember, don't ask me the numbers now, but believe me, according to the adjusters on the swing arm, that wheel was dead level and the chain had got about 25mm of slack. I thought, yeah, perfect. I give it a squirt of juice, I get a squirt of chain lube, and off, yeah, in first gear obviously, but I didn't get my finger near it, no. That was another story, wasn't it? But, so, as far as I'm concerned, it's fine. But, yesterday I'm out on a run, and I noticed it was almost as if it was handling different on left-hand bends and on right-hand bends. I was cranking it over on left-hand bends with you know, oodles, loads of confidence. But on right-hand bends, it started off, it went into the corner and it was okay, and then it sort of dropped, like almost a bit skittish. And first couple of times it happened, you think, well, there might be a bit of diesel on the road, there might be a bit of gravel, it might be the road surface, you know, but it was becoming every time. So left-hand bend's fine, right-hand bend's not so fine. Acting up, acting strange. Well, I stopped at Greg's actually. I wanted a coffee and a sausage roll. I wanted something to eat. And when I came out to Greg's, I walked up to my bike and I looked at the back wheel and I thought, it's not straight. That back wheel isn't straight. It was like if you drew a line, just looking at it, forget the markers on the swinging arm, just looking at it, it looked like it looked off. It looked like, and it looked like the front of the wheel was slightly more to the right and the back of the wheel was slightly to the left as I was looking forward down the line of the bike. It didn't look straight. It didn't look like it was straight down the line of the bike. So, my wheel nut was tight, the spindle was tight, the markings on the swinging arm were plumb on both sides. So the wheel hadn't moved, it wasn't like I hadn't timed it up and it was moving about. It was still sogged up. But, so I gets it home, and I thought, well, what are you going to do now? It's like it hadn't been in an accident or anything. It's like nobody shunted me up the back, you know, up the back end and twisted something. That hasn't happened. So I'm thinking, what are you going to do now? So I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to. I even measured it. It was about 4 inches, about 100mm either side, from the centre of the spindle on either side to the rear of the swing arm where you put your Allen key in and adjust it. So the measurements were the same, but the wheel looked to be off centre. So, what to do? Well, I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to disregard what that spindle's saying, what those settings are saying on the spindle. And I know it's ludicrous. I know you'll say, what are you doing? Don't be stupid. You know, that's nonsense, isn't it? They're there for a reason. You know, that can't be wrong. Well, I'm telling you, it looked wrong to me. It looked plain wrong. So, I slackened it off on one side. I had a bit of jiggery pokery, you know, because I still got to get the chain tight. And I lined it up to what I thought, simply from standing behind the bike, what I needed to do was pull, as I'm looking forward at the bike, to almost tighten the chain side up to pull it back a bit and slacken the offside off a bit to push it forward a bit. But that meant that the swinging arm markings weren't quite in the right place. They were slightly different on both sides, but the actual wheel on the spindle, looking from behind, and I know that. I mean, how rough an idea is that? But it looked better. It didn't look like it was on an angle now. It looked like it was straight. And guess what? I'm out on it now. It's not dropping into right-hand corners. It's not skittish. It's gone. But if you look at my swing, now I look again at the swinging arm, you know, it's not a massive difference either side, but there is a difference. There was a difference for shoeing. I wonder if anybody else has done. I wonder if anybody can explain, throw any light on that one for me, because it's ludicrous, isn't it? Okay. Now, the thoughts of the new bike saga continues. You know, I've had some brilliant comments, ranging from "Don't be so stupid, stick with your classic, what's up with you, pull your head together," you know, to no, if you fancy something else, get something else. So your advice has been gratefully received. It's not been any good, you know, because I'm like, oh, what's all this mess and what's going on here in this road here? Jesus, I don't know what's going on there. Whoa, what's happening here? Well, that's a mess. Leave that on the main road for folk. Anyway, seriously, thanks for your advice, and all of it's valid. Don't get a bike, you're being stupid. Very valid. Oh, just go and get one. What's up with you? You only live once. Very valid. Yeah, you're right. The little classic won't do everything. So get yourself a tourer if you want to do a bit of touring. Yeah, you're right. So I've had the full gambit, and I do appreciate it. And I have had a look. Do you know what? I'll tell you what I had a look at. Something that I had a look at, because part of my problem is I want something that's a bit different to this classic, don't I? So I thought I don't really want a Bonneville, much as I love Bonnevilles and things like that. Ultimately, I've got my little classic bike, haven't I, here? So I was trying to decide what I'll use it for, and I sort of think I'm either going to go for what everybody else does, like an adventure type bike. I thought about like a Tiger, or a GS is going to be beyond me, I think, unless it's an old one. And to be honest, I've had some old BMs before, and some of my mates have as well, and you know, they can come with some hefty bills, can't they? You know, you never quite know with one. So I think if they're relatively young, you haven't got any issues, they're brilliant. But at the price point that I'm thinking about, and I mean, my price point is going to be 3 or 4 grand, I guess. 3 or 4 grand for something different to this, to do a different job to this, really, for touring. So, you know, I mean, work's cut out to get something for that, but when you have a look round, you know, there's always stuff about. I'll tell you what I went to have a look at. I went to have a look at a Triumph. This dealer, he'd got several in, actually. A Triumph, do you remember the Triumph ST 1050? Sprint, is it? Triumph Sprint 1050. Well, they did a GT 1050 as well. So, and the GT was like a Grand Tourer. It got all the boxes. It was slightly bigger than the ST. People said that the handling suffered because of that. You know, it wasn't quite as nimble as the ST. But anyway, so I thought, yeah, that'll do, one of them. And there's a few about. Some of them have got sensible mileage on, and they're in good nick. And it's a Triumph, isn't it? So there you go. But once I caught my leg over one, they're a sports tourer, and for me, at my age, with my pot belly, the sports was getting a bit in the way of the tourer, if you see what I mean. I'd have liked to have been a bit more of a tourer sport than a sport tourer, if you get me drift. It wasn't so much that it was a reach, but as soon as I sat on it in the showroom, I sat on it in the garage, it was car garage actually, and he got 3 Triumph. He got a load of bikes as well, not just them. But anyway, nice fella, great place, but once I cocked my leg over and sat on the seat and reached forward, and with the incline, I'm thinking, no, too much for me. I wouldn't do it, you know. So, sensible add-on, you know, good price, good condition, good history. You know, it was ticking loads of boxes, but I won't be comfortable on it, so that was ruled out. But what I'm trying to say is, so what I'm trying to say, a bit more tourer than sports, something a bit more like a pan-European, an FJR 1300. Any others? Kawasaki Concourse. I don't know if that's in America, isn't it? Kawasaki 1400. Don't know if I'd get one in that budget. Maybe an old one. I don't know. So that was my thought. Or Triumph Tiger, a V-Strom, or Kawasaki Versys. That's the adventure. That's going down the adventure route, isn't it? But what I want is, I want it in my budget. I want everything, don't I? Don't we always? We want everything, don't we? I want no miles on it. I want a full service history. I want no corrosion, nothing like that. I want all the boxes. I want a top box. I want heated grips. I want heated seats. I want 100 to the gallon, and I want the next 4 services free, please. Don't we all? I mean, let's be honest. We're all looking for that, aren't we? It's out there. We've got to make compromises. We know. So I'm just being silly now, obviously. But I'm sure there's something out there for me around the 3-4 grand mark that will give me an alternative to this if I want to go a long distance. And I know people have said, oh, you can do long distances on that. Honest to God, yeah, I know you can. This bike's brilliant up here, tickling around these lanes, isn't it? That's what it's made for. But let's be honest. Let me be honest. Listen, if I'm going to see my mate Pete in France, yeah, which might happen next year, who knows? Well, we've only met through this YouTube malarkey. It's like internet dating, isn't it? Hey, I don't know. Do you know, I said to my mate the other day, I said, I'm going for a ride with a YouTube pal. He says, oh, he says, yes, you ever met him? He says, no. He says, I said to him, hey, you don't think I'm being groomed, do you? And he just looked up and he says, well, if you are, they're going to be heavily disappointed. You're going to be heavily disappointed. I think he's probably right there. But anyway, where were we? We're having a look anyway. We're having a little tickle round. We're having a look. It might lead to something, it might not. I don't know. And you know, I've had these ideas before. I've gone out and got a bike and I've regretted it, and who knows? I don't know. But do you know what else is going through my head? You're getting on. If you don't do it now, you never will. Kids are going to have enough money. You know what I mean? When my name rises to the top of the list, and I depart this mortal coil, my kids are going to be all right. They're only going to be good dad. An old FJR 1300. They really aren't. In fact, they can sell it, can't they? You know, they can sell it, and if they lose £1,000, it's going to cost them 500 quid each. So I'm not bothered. Who's worked all the life for, don't worry about leaving it to kids. Bugger them. I tell you what, yeah. That's what we should be doing. We're only here once, aren't we, eh? They didn't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning driving wagons for 20 years, did they? No, but they're getting, and when they want it, I've got 2 girls. One's a bit of a fashionista. And, he'll just spend it on a bloody handbag or something. You know what I mean? So why am I even hesitating? Keith, go and do it. Go and do it. Life for living. Oh, something that I did consider, that I just wanted to mention, was Bingley Wheelers. Now, he's in Yorkshire, and he did a nice review. I'm going to have a ride on one of these. I'm going to have a ride myself because I know our dealership's got him in as well. So, but he's very impressed by these Jap CF Moto. I think he's had a CF Moto 800 and he's bought it himself. And have a look at that, Bingley Wheeler. Have a look at his CF Moto. Chinese, but yeah, I mean, sometimes perceptions take a bit of changing, don't they? But I'd have one tomorrow. I'm sure I would. In fact, I'd probably best not test ride it because my budget will get stretched, won't it? Because you know what I'm like. I like pretty much anything. But yeah, have a look at Bingley Wheelers CF Moto, and it might change. He's very impressed by it, and he gives us a full proper review on this CF 800. He loves it. He says it's just as good as anything else, and perversely it's got the engine in it as a KTM. I didn't realise, but CF Moto in China, I don't know if they still do, but they build engines for KTM, and this is the outgoing engine, the old 790 engine. I don't know KTM, so don't quote me. It's the older engine, but yeah, he speaks really highly of it. Comes really well equipped at a good price. Still probably too much for me at this current, just at this current moment, but I'm tempted to have a ride on one of them at least. But like I said, I might be better off staying off it. Oh, I see what the problem is. We've got an old army truck, and he broke down. So that don't help on a day like today. There's a group of bikers in front just giving me a shove out the way. We'll go past him in a minute, so you see what I mean. This young lady's coming out. I'll just pop round here. There we go. So there you are. I mean, this is how I imagine. And I've never been the TT, but this is how I imagine like the TT to be. You know, millions of bikes everywhere. Well, there's a Bobby, and you know, lots going on. But there you go. I hope you can see that. I hope my camera's picking this up. Let's just have a little revamp of this. Here he is. Army's broke down. Oh, he's got a maple leaf on. It must be the Canadian Army. 1939 Bedford. Oh well. British truck, isn't it? British truck. What's going on here now? It's always madness, isn't it? See, I told you it would be. What did I say? I said it's going to be daft, isn't it, down here today? Let's shove that up a bit. And there we have it. Let's see. Oh, look, here's a few bikes for your perusal. Hollies. Oh, they aren't doing very well at the moment, are they? I just heard that two branches that are quite local to me, one in Chester and one in Manchester. I mean, they've been shut for a little while now, I guess. But a bit disappointing, really. Bit disappointing. There you are. There's one of them. You can see that grey Triumph there. I don't know if that's. Oh, that's an ST. That's what I was thinking about, the GT version of that, because it comes with the boxes. But it's a bit too much of a stretch for me. Bit too much of a stretch, unfortunately. There you go. That chippy on the left there, Promenade Fish Bar. Oh, it's brilliant. Small fish, chips and peas, about £6, £6.50, something like that. Can't go wrong. Absolutely great quality, fresh as you like, as good as fish and chips as you get anywhere. Pubs are full. Pubs are full. Bikes everywhere. What's not to like on a nice day? Triumph Scrambler 1200. There you go. Rocket 3, Indian something or other, I don't know. Oh, a Triumph 900. Is that a Tiger? I bet it is. I'll have that, please. Sell me that. £3,000. Give me £3,000 for it. What do you reckon? No? Okay. I'll leave it then. Multistrada. I don't want one of them. They're mental. Too fast for me. Too fast for me they are. I've had one. No, dangerous. Dangerous. Put Keith and a Multistrada together, it's a recipe for disaster. So I won't be bothering with them. Now then. there's actually lots of... See, all these cars here, often it's full of bikes. There's more, they're actually, I'm not saying it's disappointing, but maybe the weather's put people off. Maybe the thought of all these showers, that there was thoughts of showers, has put people off. And to be honest, there isn't as many bikes here as I would have normally expected. Okie dokie, shall we have a few photographs then? Now, first up, we've got Gary. Now, Gary's in South Gippsland in Australia, and he sent a picture of his Halcyon Classic by some more cut down timber. So that's grand in the late evening sunshine, Gary. That's great, thank you. Now, Steve sent me some pictures of, he's obviously a bit of a fan of Cossacks. Urals. He sent me some pictures of his old bikes that he had years and years ago. One of them, you'll see, he's pulling a trailer. He said he used to use that, pull the trailer to the skip. And he's also bought one recently, which so the black one he's still got, and that shares the garage with his Royal Enfield Meteor. So they're great to see. Now, from what I can gather, I think they were made in Ukraine. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, good to see, mate. Thanks for sending them. Now, Dave's been in touch. He sent me a picture of his Motor Guzzi V9 Roma, and it's strategically placed by a Centurion tank near where they build them. I think he said it's in Leyland in Lancashire. So that's good to see, mate. Thanks for sending that in. That's great. Okay, Ran. Now, Ran, he's in the Lake District. He sent me a couple of pictures. He's parked up at the Kirkstone Pass on his Guzzi, and he's also at overlooking Lake Windermere. So they are grand, strategically positioned. Nice pictures, mate. Thanks for sending them in. Now, Pete's a Stokey. He's like me, but he's escaped to Marple, apparently, which is up sort of Manchester way, I think. It's up there somewhere, Stockport. And he's out and about on his Meteor, and he sent me a picture of a place I know very well. It's about halfway between where I am and where he is, actually, but he's outside Buxton, outside the Crescent in Buxton. So, nice picture, Pete. Nice to hear from you, mate, and take care, Duck. So that's it now. I'm all caught up with my photographs, so that's grand. First time I've been ahead of the game for a while, but I'm more than happy to receive your photographs and your comments or anything like that. If you email me, email your photographs to shottostravels@gmail.com. I'll happily put them on. And don't forget, there's a very, very small prize to be won at the end of June now in the photo competition. So we'll put the best 10 on at the end of June, and I'll wing off a little gift to you as a little bit of thank you. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and don't forget what I was saying at the start. It is important. If you could subscribe, that'd be marvellous. If you could just click that button for me, that'd make my day. So I'm going to say to you, thank you so much if you're still here right at the end now, right at the last knockings. So thanks for joining me, and ride safe. Watch out for the lunatic drivers and the potholes. Don't forget it's summertime now, so come on, get that bike out and go for a little tickle around. There's nothing finer on a nice day, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.